All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack the explosive hype surrounding the return of the absolute queen of fashion in The Devil Wears Prada 2. Whether you've been, randomly dropping the word cerulean into conversations for the last 2 decades, or you're just now stepping into the high-stakes universe of Runway magazine, the buzz around this sequel is simply impossible to ignore. We're looking at a genuine cultural phenomenon here, something that goes way beyond just a trip to the movie theater. So let's break down exactly what makes this return so monumental.
Let's start with the sheer scale of this moment. 222 million. That's the record-shattering number of trailer views in just the first 24 hours. That officially makes it the most-watched trailer in 20th Century Studios history. Think about that for a second. In an era where literally everything on the internet is fiercely competing for our attention, a sequel to a movie from 2 decades ago completely broke through the noise, just instantly. It tells us right away that audiences aren't just mildly curious, they're utterly ravenous to see what happens next to these characters.
And honestly, that intense hunger makes perfect sense when you look at the timeline. Releasing exactly 20 years after the 2006 original completely defined a generation of cinema, this May 1st, 2026 premiere isn't just your standard movie drop. It's really more of a cultural reawakening. We've all grown up, our careers have changed, and stepping back into the story feels a lot like looking in a mirror to see exactly how much we, and the fashion industry itself, have evolved over the last 20 years.
Section 1. The ultimate role reversal. Power dynamics shift.
Now, what's so fascinating here is how the power dynamics have completely flipped, thrusting our favorite characters into drastically new realities. On one side, we have the 2006 Emily Charlton. The incredibly stressed, overworked assistant who lived in constant fear of a single, withering glare from her boss. But fast forward to 2026, and Emily, played once again by the amazing Emily Blunt, is now a powerful executive at a massive luxury brand. And here's the ultimate plot twist. Emily now controls the massive luxury advertising budget that her former boss desperately needs to survive. Talk about a spectacular full-circle moment, right? The assistant, who was practically running herself into the ground fetching coffee, now holds the literal keys to the kingdom. So why is that advertising budget so absolutely critical? Well, because Meryl Streep's legendary Miranda Priestly is actually struggling. The fashion world she once ruled with an iron fist has been completely upended by digital media and AI, and she's actively battling the steep decline of traditional print media. Meanwhile, Anne Hathaway's Andy Sachs isn't fetching lattes anymore either. She returns as a seasoned, serious investigative reporter, and she gets pulled right back into Miranda's icy orbit to save the magazine's reputation. The tension there is absolutely palpable.
Section 2. Expanding the front row. The ensemble cast.
Obviously, it wouldn't be a sequel without our returning icons, Meryl, Emily, and Anne. Plus, we get the absolute necessity of Stanley Tucci returning as the irreplaceable Nigel. But the new faces joining the Runway universe are honestly just as thrilling. We gain Simone Ashley from Bridgerton, a highly buzzed-about rumored cameo from Lady Gaga, and real-life fashion royalty with Donatella Versace making an appearance. And for those of you wondering about Andy's personal life, Patrick Bramwell steps in as her new love interest. So it looks like Nate is officially out of the picture. The blend of that original lightning-in-a-bottle chemistry and all this fresh energy is just incredible.
Section 3. The real-world fashion impact. Office core.
Okay, so thanks to this movie, we are officially in the era of corpcore and the office siren. Fashion analysts have noted that this highly productive, modernized aesthetic has already completely taken over our wardrobes. It's a direct evolution, basically a softened, modernized revolution of that iconic 2006 office wear. The impending release of this movie basically gave the internet a reinvented way to dress for success, seamlessly merging high fashion with serious corporate ambition. If you want to capture this powerful trend yourself, you just need to follow a few exact sartorial steps to channel your inner luxury executive. We're talking structured blazers that immediately command attention when you walk in a room, sleek pencil skirts, and of course, those sharp-pointed heels. It's all about taking the fierce, unapologetic confidence of Miranda and Emily and applying it directly to your daily routine. Putting on this specific look actually makes people feel tangibly more productive. It's a really fascinating example of how cinematic costume design can shift our everyday behavior and mindset.
Section 4. Digital era dilemmas. Print versus pixel.
The trailer actually gives us this chilling, perfect visual. Miranda Priestly staring at a smartphone screen with that exact same icy judgment we all remember. Here is an absolute icon of print, someone who literally dictated global trends with a subtle nod of her head, now forced to confront algorithms, digital disruption, and the relentless pace of a smartphone-obsessed world.
It's such a brilliant way to show that even the most powerful titans in any industry have to eventually adapt or face total irrelevance.
Which brings us to the ultimate crossroads of the story. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this massive question. If you were in Andy's shoes, looking at a drastically shifting media landscape, would you rescue your notoriously demanding old boss and save the legacy of traditional print? Or would you step back and let Runway Magazine dissolve into the digital age? It's a really complex, fascinating call between loyalty, progress, and power. What would you do? Thanks so much for joining me, and keep questioning the trends shaping our world.